Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sweetly. Let the youth live. We will be discussing again more solutions to the knife crime, gun crime, serious youth violence on our streets. If you're not already following us, please do so. On Instagram, Let the Youth Live. Also Twitter, Let the Youth Live. Facebook. We also have a group, Let the Youth Live as well on Facebook. So please add us up. We want us to all work together, to try and calm down what's going on our streets. Too many people are dying. And big up to everybody who has been taking part in our discussions, our podcasts, their input, their ideas, because we wouldn't be able to continue to do what we're doing. So I'm just going to wait to see if any people join us up on the live. Seems like the audio's out slightly. Hi, Bayatub. Good to see you. Love to hear from you today. If you want to talk about experiences with knife crime. Hello. Yeah, so if you want to come on, just request. But the show is all about solutions to what's going on the streets. It's a sad state of affairs. And I mean, the weapons that they're using as well are absolutely horrific. Right, I was hoping some more people would have joined us before I start going into the main topics today. Hi, Hoodrich, big up to you. Thank you for joining us. Big up to Loxxy, Lee survived. Oh, massive shout out to you, my darling. Really big up to you for what you're posting up. Very proud of you. All right, we would actually, we'd love to get you on. That would be wicked to get Hoodrich on as well. Yeah, we would love you to join. All right. Okay. Right, I'm just going to request you now, Hoodrich. But yeah, we'd love to get you on Loxxy as well. All right. Let's go. Hi, Hoodrich. Oh, he's gone. He's gone, man. Right, if anyone else wants to join the live, let me know if my audio's all right. Because when I'm looking at the phone, it seems a bit delayed. All right, so let me know. Oh, that's a shame, Hoodrich. That is a shame. Right, I'm gonna lock this live, right? Because is the audio all right? Okay, maybe it'll be all right when I go live with someone. Because it's delayed, man. Yeah, slightly. Yeah. All right. Now, we'd love to hear from anyone who wants to talk about their experiences with knife crime, serious youth violence. If you've got any suggestions, any ideas, what we can be doing, we'd love to hear from you. Now, this week there's been some horrific incidents happened. Things are escalating. They're not getting better. Loxxy, can you join the live? Be great to get you on, my darling. But yes, so since we've been doing these podcasts, we've come up with a lot of solutions that you know, people are all for. So we're kind of working on those and trying to come up with more ideas to get them solutions moving. Right, yes, if we add you up, Loxxy, I'm going to send you a request, all right? Right, send you a request now, all right?
Hey,
Hi, my darling.
how are
Lovely to see you, man.
you? Nice to see you.
Ah, lovely. Thank you for joining me today on Let the Youth Live. Big up. Thank you so much. And I have, you know, I've seen what you've been doing online. Big
Yeah.
up to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How's your day been so far?
Just mad busy. I'm just non-stop, morning to night, 7 days a week. It's
Don't stop.
crazy because I do music as well. I'm a DJ.
Okay, that's good.
So I do a lot of radio shows and a lot of editing and for all the artists. So just
That's
mad
really
busy.
good.
But this Let the Youth Live is kind of, it's my priority right
Yeah,
now because things are so bad, man, on the streets. It's an emergency, you know, it's nationwide.
it's not good. It's
Mm-mm.
ridiculous. It's getting worse by the days, and it's scary. It is.
It's definitely scary. This is what, like, we've been saying on these podcasts, the weapons that are being brought, it seems all online, Snapchat, they're
Yeah,
easily accessible, really cheap.
and it's how young the people actually are that are purchasing them.
And we've got, you know, children killing other children. It's really, it's awful what's going on.
It makes me sick to my stomach. I mean, I'm 24, by the way. So to going back 10 years ago, everything that I was doing, I mean, circumstances were different. Um,
Definitely.
but I could only imagine if we were living how we're living now 10 years ago, it would be completely worse. So just looking at how the statistics rise up in the next 10 years, what is it going to be like then?
I dread to think, you know, because I've literally been like a few nights in the last week, I've just been sitting there thinking, what is this world that we're in right now?
It's horrible.
It is. It's
It's
frightening.
absolutely horrible.
One of the things we've talked about, like we've talked of a lot of solutions. One of them was accountability for
Yeah.
social media, the big platforms, mainstream media, because they're pushing the whole, perpetuating the violence, they're
Yeah.
glamorizing the lifestyle, and it's the children that are dying
There
out
we
there.
go. And nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. They're talking about prioritizing the street searches, stopping street searches, but all these people that are getting stopped and searched for all the wrong reasons as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke.
Yeah,
You're building this up, but yet nothing's actually coming from it. There's no positive. There's no positive that feeds from it. There's nothing. It's always something negative that comes after these new solutions that
yeah,
they want to bring forward. And it's a
exactly.
joke. It's a complete joke. How much people have stood up in Parliament and they protested? How much people, the community have come out and protested, but they don't get nowhere. But when it's something to do within the parliament, even coronavirus, do you see what I'm saying? Even that, they focus more on that when from
Mm-hmm.
each to their own. But for me, it's a joke. But they focus more on that and they get more credit out of that than actually helping young people. I think it's all a joke. I think the government is to set young people up to fail. I think I
Definitely.
was one of them. I think I was failed by the government. Um, and I think unless everyone comes together and stands together, nothing will change. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. We know that as well. We all have to come together, and that's been the difficulty. Like
Yeah,
we've come up with quite a lot of solutions. Some of them are in process. So
yeah,
we've got the bleed control cabinets that
yeah,
me and a lady called Lynn from the Daniel Baird Foundation, We're trying
Okay.
to campaign to get these all across the UK,
Yeah.
because literally what's happening, the horrific weapons that are being used on our kids, they're not making it to the hospital. They're literally dying in the street. So we at least want to see some children being saved on the street. Now
100%. 100%.
these need to be everywhere, these kits, you know, like even young people's hostels, in people's cars. The police need to have them. And I know it's kind of a reactive to what's going on, but
Yeah.
I cannot, literally cannot bear to see any more like young people dying on our streets, bleeding to death.
Yeah.
So that was one of the solutions.
Yeah.
There's the school and the street patrols,
Yeah. I've
which,
seen that actually been happening. I've seen there's Respect and then there's Farron Pool. Those guys have been doing the school patrols. I don't
yeah,
know what's come of it so far.
yeah. Well, we're looking to expand that, because literally, I believe every single borough needs one
Yeah,
at least.
100%.
And definitely for after school time and before school time.
Yeah.
We've got
And
children
what
being murdered in their
school
school
clubs?
uniform.
It's
It's just,
crazy.
yeah, it really is. Now, the other things we've spoken about are a gang truce or a peace
Yeah.
treaty, but I don't know how on earth we would get that organised.
And what consists of that? What?
Well, I don't know what the fine details would be, but just
Yeah.
that no more deaths between the
Yeah.
gangs. When we spoke about it on here before, somebody said it would be very difficult
Yeah.
because there's so many small gangs.
Do you know what it is? It's that, but it's a younger generation of today. That's what it is.
Mm,
There's no guidance, there's no structure, there's no discipline, there's nothing. It's completely
no,
wiped out. So I think that's where it will be difficult. Because there's so much more gangs. So say from about 10 years ago, you had the adults of now that was in one gang, that was that name, and then the younger generations of those adults created a new name of that gang, and that's how it comes out more. Do you see what I'm saying? So as we're trying to probably work on it and cut it down, it's expanding,
yeah,
and that's
it's
that's
just
the
getting
hard
big.
thing about it, because
Hmm.
all these young kids are getting recruited and recruited and recruited, and it's just building up.
Yeah,
And I think it would take a massive, massive team to try and work their way through that. I think it could make a small change, but a small change is better than no change.
yeah, that's the way I look at it. You know, like as long as there are changes and there's movement and things are happening, and there seems to be quite a lot of stuff happening at the minute, which is very positive. My concern, though, is it's the summer holidays, and we
Yeah,
know the kids are out, and you know, to be honest, something needs to be in place to protect them all.
it's scary. I
I
mean, I wish
saw,
I had all of the ideas. I wish I
I,
did.
me too. I mean, this is why I've been doing the podcast, the lives, to try and get as many people, you know, their opinions, any ideas, see if we can
Yeah.
work together to push some of those ideas, you know, support one another with whatever we're all doing.
Yeah. Um, I could reach out to a few people. I'm currently, give me 1 second. I've finished filming for the BBC. I can't talk much on it right now, but I'm
Ah,
doing a
okay.
documentary, and it's for young girls. So that would come out, that's coming out this year, sometime soon.
Brilliant.
And I think once that's out, I could be able to talk a bit more on that side of things, because it's exploitation of young girls, and young girls being in gangs, and everything surrounding those kind of areas. So that's what's coming from me next. I wish I could talk about it more,
Okay.
but I can't. But I honestly think your ideas and what you're doing, I think it's amazing. I think we need more people like you. Especially, I think we need people who've experienced raw things. from the
Definitely.
outside. Like,
Yeah,
I think we need people who, yes, go and get her. Sorry, one my daughter was just telling me
that's all right.
something. So yeah, I think once we got that kind of group together, there will be a small change. As I said before, though, not that it will change the whole world, but it could change 1 in 10 people, and that
Yeah,
1 in 10
exactly.
people could have changed their life. It's
Mm.
given their parents, their child, for another 5 years or so, or maybe longer. Do you know what I mean? So it is all worth it at the end.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm just going to read a couple of messages. Captain
Yeah,
Craft, he says the main goal should be to teach the youth that the roads don't love you. The roads won't be there for you when, for your mum when you're gone.
yeah.
Super
The
D
people
saying,
in the
well said.
roads, yeah.
hmm Lots of love hearts, little light beauty, Walter Bearer. Big up to you. Shout out to Sean Powers as well. Would love to get you on the live, Sean, if you're up for that. Sean tragically lost his son a little while ago.
I'm sorry to hear. My
It's
condolences.
devastating, and like the trauma in all our communities, like. Uh, it's
It's
and this is
heartbroken.
what we definitely, I was going to say we need to work together, but everybody up on this live, everybody has been contributing, since we started these podcasts. I feel like the right people are coming,
Yeah,
who are positive, who
yeah.
want to see change.
I
So
totally
yeah.
agree with you. I think it's a process, takes time. For me, I'd say give it 6 months, work on like one aspect of what you want to do for
hmm
6 months, see how that goes, and then build your
yeah,
way up the ladder. See who comes from it. Even if it's one person on the live every single day, that person
yeah,
could tell that person could tell the other person, and
exactly.
it could build up from that.
hmm
Um, but it is just getting through to people's heads. It
yeah,
is, and just making them realize what is going on right now. It can't happen no more. Um, Although it is still going to happen, whilst we can do what we can do, a change can come from it. Even setting up a foundation for where people can go, young people who are trapped in gangs. They've got no one to talk to. They can talk to people who's experienced it. You don't need to be a professional, just another human being who has some form of understanding and experience. I think a
yeah,
lot of young people don't like to talk to people because they've got no experience.
yeah,
So they think, if I'm talking to you, how are you going to help me? What can you do for me if I'm going to tell you what I'm going through, yet you've got no experience whatsoever from it?
yeah. I see what you mean.
Um,
Yeah, that's exactly
so
right.
yeah, it's a process. It's a process which is painful at the same time, but you just got
hmm
to ride the storm that comes with it
Yeah.
and
We've
just be
got another
hopeful.
message from Captain Craft. He says, unfortunately, gangs don't care about peace. It's all about money. Injuries of these kids are just collateral. All fall back to the roads. Don't love you. Teach the kids that. I mean, there's a lot of that message has been going out for a long time, but
I
it's,
don't
yeah.
really agree. And I'll tell you why I don't agree. I was out on the roads. I wouldn't say that I was in a gang. I used to say that I was in a gang, but for me, it wasn't a gang. It was just a group of people that I chilled with. And some of them were part of a gang. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, there's a saying that the streets don't love you. Okay, we understand the knowledge behind it, but it's the people who don't love you. It's the people that you're rolling with on the roadside, that you're chilling with, smoking with, drinking with, robbing people with,
Mhm.
killing people with. That's the people who don't love you. Those are the
Yeah.
people who don't love you. It's got nothing to do with the world. It's got nothing to do with the streets. It's the people in it, the people you're surrounding yourself. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you're placed in one area, but all the areas are the same, but you're still a victim to society. You're a victim to the surroundings around you. Do you see what I'm saying? And even
Mhm.
if you're not a victim towards that, you could easily get misled by one person, or you could be so depressed in life, you could be so down, not want to be here no more. and you could meet that one person or get involved with that one thing that completely takes it all away from you. So I wouldn't really agree with that. I get what he's trying to say, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree with that comment. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true, because exactly what you're saying, man.
It is,
It's
yeah. Yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. I mean, I've got nieces that are 11 and 12. And when I was their age, I was going through so much. I was smoking, drinking, fighting, robbing people, like running away. I was seeing people get stabbed up. I was getting chased down Deptford with guns. Do you see what I was doing?
like
Loads.
that's
I
a
went through
lot.
it
Yeah.
all. And it's like, I look at it now and I'm just like, I'll be scared if like my sister or my brother let my nieces out to go up the
I know,
road. You
it's
know
so,
what I
yeah,
mean?
I know.
Like I grew up in Fulton Heath and I was in Bermondsey, I was in Brixton, I was in all of these places. And where was my parents? Do you know what I mean? So it is scary because you don't know what your children are up to and what they're doing and who they're around. I was
Exactly.
what, 12, 13, chilling with people nearly 8 years older than me.
Wow.
Like it's not good. Like it's not good. So I think there is a lot of I think people a lot of adults need to step up and show
And
people.
protect the kids. And I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
we've all got a responsibility to the kids. You know what I mean? I've had people on the podcast, you know, and they're saying, look, you know, they're responsible, you know, for what they did previous to
Yeah,
the next generation.
yeah, yeah,
Literally, it's going to take us all taking accountability and actually doing something together. I mean, I did a few years back, we did a nationwide Your City Says No to Serious Youth Violence,
yeah.
where everybody came out on the same day, same time, and
Yeah,
basically just said, you know what, enough's enough.
yeah.
But literally, I expected it to be the whole of the UK. We got 45 towns and cities, which I think was,
Wow.
yeah,
That's amazing. I think that's
yeah.
amazing anyway.
I had the vision that, you know, like I just thought, this is it. Everyone's going to come out. They're just going to demand, right? We want
Yeah.
this, you know what I mean? But it didn't quite work like that. It was, there's a lot of people out there that say they're about solutions, but when it comes down to it,
No,
so I'm just
and
going
that's
with
the
the
sad
people
thing.
who, yeah, who, you know without having to break it down or explain to them. We know what it's like out there, and we just want something to be done.
Yeah.
And if it takes us having to, you know, do that, then that's what we're doing.
People just need to be prepared. That's it. Don't put your foot in front of the other foot. And not be prepared because you have it can break you down in so many ways as well, and you wouldn't even realize it. So you need to just know what you're about to do if you are prepared to help. Know what danger actually holds is held on the roads. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, before I used to be out all times of the night. You see, now I've got a daughter,
Me
so
too.
that's one reason why I'm at home. But I don't like even when I don't have her. I don't even want to go for a walk at night time. I honestly don't. I don't like it. I don't feel safe. I haven't felt safe. I think since I've been a mum, I've been scared of being out there more than anything, to
Exactly,
be
because
honest.
like, what are we gonna do? Because I had this scenario. When was it? A week and a half ago. But I
Yeah,
was in the house, but looking outside, I've got like a big Tesco car park,
yeah.
and it's literally like my garden, right? So I look out of the window, and I think, what the fuck? And I can just see a load of people in balaclavas
Oh
with
no.
the biggest weapons, like literally they're bigger than them. I see Rambo knives, I saw
Wow.
machetes. It turns out that it was a moped robbery, but literally when I'm there saying, what the like, I'm looking thinking, like, what's going on, because I didn't know, is this,
Gosh.
you know what I mean, is it ops, or is like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah,
Luckily, they got the moped and then the car sped off, one of the cars. But I'm thinking, you know, I could have walked into that. Kids could
You
have
could
walked
have.
into that.
You could
You're
have.
coming home. You know what I mean? This is
And yeah,
the kind of stuff we see on the videos all the time.
yeah.
I know Croydon
That's
High Street,
horrible.
Woolwich.
Croydon is
What are
getting
we going to...
worse. I grew up in Croydon. Croydon is a horrible place. The people
Yeah,
in Croydon are horrible. Um, there are people running up and down with knives and
yeah.
all the time. There's always something going on.
Mhm.
Always. Um,
There's a
but the police
certain
are in the
road
wrong.
I
The
heard as
police
well.
are in the wrong places. The police, I don't think they're doing their job properly. You're always in the wrong places when these
Yeah,
things
I
are
don't really
happening.
see
Why
them
are you
in
not there?
necessary. Yeah,
You're there quickly to strip and search someone, but you're not there quickly to deal with what's going on at that time. Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
I think it's disgusting. The moped robberies, I think it's crazy that you say that because about 3 months ago, I even called my partner after it straight away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I was with my daughter at the bus stop. Normally I walk everywhere. I don't like public transport and I walk. But this
Yeah.
time I said, let me just get the bus. It was hot. So I'm walking with my daughter now. I sat at the bus stop. And next minute I see people crossing on the other side of the road, an Asian family walking with the buggy and a kid. Husband and wife, I think it was husband, well, a couple anyway. Anyway, next minute, moped zoomed up right behind them, dragged the bag.
Oh shit,
Now
yeah.
I don't know if anything got pulled out or I don't know, but when I saw it, it's just like I've seen it. I've looked
Yeah.
over. The people I've driven up on the moped, they've looked at me, and I'm like, oh my god! I got up, I started walking. I said, quick, this is why I don't want to sit on the
Yeah.
bus.
It's
But
like me when
it's things
I went
like
to
that.
the
It's
window.
scary.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's
it is.
scary. You
It's
shouldn't have to
so,
see that.
yeah.
So people are getting very brave. They're getting very brazen.
Yeah.
And they honestly don't care who's around. And this is why you
Mm,
must be cautious at all times. You can't
yeah.
be the big and bad wolf because you don't know who
Uh,
people carry with them.
exactly. You want to live for another day.
There we go. I
That's
used
it.
to get into arguments with people all the time and not realize. I need to realize who I am and how little I am to certain people. Because when I
Mm,
argue back, you don't know what people got in them. The amount of
exactly.
people that have lost their minds mentally, yeah,
Hmm.
they're not even locked up no more.
No, just out.
They're not locked up no more. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You know.
I think the police ain't doing their job. So the community definitely need to get together and do something about it.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. I was just going to add up my daughter, Laws
yeah,
Versace, right? Because she was meant to, hopefully she can come on, but it depends if my grandson will let her.
I
But
know.
yeah, we
I've been
normally
so
have
good with my daughter so
my
far.
daughter on and Christella as well, who works in child exploitation. But
Mhm.
we couldn't get her on today because she was at a safe house. So she
Oh
wasn't allowed.
wow.
Yeah. Right, let me just put my daughter on, all right, as well.
Mhm.
Hopefully she'll be able to come on. But yeah, it's nice just to have someone younger on as well today. You know, like because usually it's all us kind of old lot, but we want younger people. We want to hear more. Oh, my daughter's saying I'll try to join in a little bit. Oh, okay,
Okay
charging
then.
my phone. Yeah, I just thought I'd try. So I can get her on because it's good to hear from her as well. You know what I mean? It's good to hear from different people's perspectives.
It is. It
And
is.
what I've realized with these podcasts, like we've had so many different ideas, but people listen to one another. You know, like even if it's
Yeah.
not their idea, and they're actually willing to listen to other people's opinions and
Yeah.
come to like an agreement on on certain things. So that's been
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's been
You're
really nice.
actually enhancing your thoughts as well. Um, Someone can actually help you along with whatever you're thinking or planning to help other people. They could say one thing and it could be a light bulb in your head. Okay,
Mm.
well, I've got this idea. Let's bring it together and let's see what we can form from this.
Mm.
So I think it's good. I'm new to all this Instagram live thing, and everything,
Us
but I
too.
think,
Me and Christella, like we both suffer with really, really bad anxiety.
Yeah, yeah,
And although it's like I do a radio show, but I literally just do my radio show. So I'm just
yeah,
dancing. I don't really talk. I just dance and I
yeah.
play my music. But this is something different for us. Like we both literally, we were like, we want to go and talk, like, right, but we've got fear, like,
I
like it's
know,
like,
it's
oh, we got to
true.
do it for the kids, man. Like, let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, I think
So,
it's really good that you've done it. I think it's absolutely good. Because not everyone, I mean,
thank you.
would want to put themselves at the forefront of something, especially on social media.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much
Mm-hmm.
crazy weirdos around these days.
Yeah.
Um, and people who try, what I say is when the devil's trying to come in, that's when things go wrong, is when the devil's trying to come in, and you just got to shut it down and keep going and going and going,
Mm-hmm.
and the more you keep putting your one foot out, is the more you'll keep on going, and
Yeah.
that's in every aspect of life. So
That's
it is
good
good.
advice
One
there,
day, yeah, I think give it what 2022, you'll be having at least 200 views on here at least.
Mm-hmm.
But that's with everyone putting their little two pence in.
Yeah. And this is the thing, because I want, you know what I mean? I want enough people on board so that we can actually do, you know what I mean? Do stuff. It's like, I know South London, where I am,
Yeah.
we've got nothing here for young
No,
people.
I'm in South London too.
There's not like
No.
nothing. I mean, I think you're quite near to Marlon, though. Did you say Thornton Heath?
Well, no, I grew up in Fulton Heath,
Ah,
but
okay.
I live in Wimbledon now. I've been in Wimbledon for nearly 6 years.
Yeah, it's meant to be nice around there.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Ish. So I'm
It's
Peckham,
lovely.
around
Oh,
by Peckham.
okay.
But
How is it
there's
down there
nothing.
now? Is it calmer now?
No. Never
No.
calm, man. Let's never calm around
Same.
here.
Well,
Never.
yeah, no. See, yeah, I've been here. Well, I've lived everywhere because foster placements broke down. Down to Bognor Regis. If you read my poems, you'll see um everywhere.
And your
Forest
poems
Hill.
are fabulous.
Thank you.
They're so, so good. How long have you been doing those?
Well, when I was younger, I had serious like anger issues and depression. So I used to, whenever I used to have an episode or something, I used to write, and it would always go into a poem. And I used to rip it up after. It never
Oh,
helped. I thought that was my coping mechanism, but it never helped. But it's like I think recently, since I've been doing this documentary, it's brought back a lot of things. Um,
yeah.
and
Bring up
my
a
sister
lot.
said to me, "Why don't you write poems? Why don't you just like set up a page and write poems?" And I was like, "That's a good idea." And I done it. And but it's just like that one time I just started writing so much that I've got a whole book full. So it's just like my goal, my aim is like to post at least one poem a day. I went to the deep end
Mhm.
straight away at first, but you learn because I was posting like 4 or 5 poems a day. But then I'm thinking I could get this into a book soon, so I need to kind of
Yeah,
hold back. Yeah,
yeah.
and so my like one poem a day or two poem a day to one to wake up with and one to go to sleep to is
Hmm.
okay, but I've kind of gone to the one. But as I
That's
write them,
brilliant. Even to do
as I
one a
post
day.
them, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it still affects me. That's why I always end it off with something positive. Like, thank you for still guiding me. Like, I'm still going strong. Like, I don't want anyone to know that I'm depressed, but you're not gonna get, you're not gonna have a picture of what my life consists. You're gonna be
Hmm.
confused, but at the same time, you're gonna think, wow, like what's happening next? Um,
Hmm.
And I also want to just help young people that if you're going through anything that I've experienced, there's a way out because I'm still here. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone used to say that Aaliyah's not going to make it to her 30th birthday, she's going to be dead. I'm 24, 11 years later, and I'm here, and I've got a 7-year-old daughter.
Oh,
So I got told I couldn't have kids, and I've got a kid. So I think,
oh, that's
do
fantastic.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So whoever's given up and whoever doesn't feel worth it, yeah, I think that's the whole purpose for my page, to show you about my life. Because I had no one to talk to. I didn't trust no one. There was no one who I feel had life experiences for me to let off to them for them to understand. So I think this is my way of reaching out to people for them to reach out to me. And if anyone's ever feeling low or like they're not worth it, they can come to me, they can message me, and we'll take it from there.
Oh,
Honestly, I just want to be there for people. I do want to be a youth mentor, and work with young people who's gone through things and experienced a hard life. I want to work with people who are suicidal and self-harming. I just want to work with everything, and I just want to help. I want to help. If I can give back, then I will.
you're
But I know that it
absolutely
starts from somewhere.
inspirational, my darling.
Thank you.
You are
Thank
so
you.
amazing. I'm so proud of you. And we'd
Thank you
love,
so
in
much.
any capacity, we'd love you on board. We've let you, the youth, live.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, any help you need, just feel free to message. And if I can help you, I will.
And thank you so much, man.
You're
And
welcome.
what you're doing there, you're, like you're giving a lifeline to others out there,
Yeah,
who are suffering, who may be going through similar things.
yeah.
And that's what I find is so amazing. And seriously, big up to you.
Thank you. And you too as well. I mean, if there's people like us, I'm not blowing my head up, but if there's more people like us, there would be a bigger community to help the younger people. But it
Yeah.
doesn't work that way. So
Hmm.
I think the biggest appraisal is just building up the ladder, just building up.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
when you get to the top, you'll see how hard you work to reach to that point. Um,
Mm.
and the people whose life you've changed, it will show.
Yeah.
And that's it really.
And there
Um,
is some real positive people out there doing amazing, amazing things. And that's kind of why I started Let the Youth Live, was
yeah.
highlight them people so that the community can, get on board either,
Mhm.
with money or giving their time. And then also trying to get some of the initiatives that these people are doing in their areas to get them, all across London in
That's
all the
true.
different boroughs. It's shocking, what some people are doing out there with no money, no funding. It's
And you know what? And it's literally people coming together. And why should that be the case? When I saw something, I'm not going to say the exact figure because I could be wrong. I need to look it back up. But politicians spend how much hundreds of thousands of alcohol in a year?
oh, I
But
saw
you
that.
can't. But you
Yeah,
can't fund the young people. How?
this is what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not in all of that. And before I even speak and get too deep on that, I'd have to do more research. But when I see
Yeah,
things like that, it makes me sick to my stomach because I
yeah,
know that so much is going on, yet you lot are forking out all of this money. Yet the people of the community that you lot say you want to help, it's them going into their pockets,
mhm.
yeah,
I think
that are
they are
helping our
giving
community.
money, but there
Not
is
enough.
some organisations out there that seem to be about the money and they're not actually doing anything. Like,
The
I'm
expenses that
laughing, but
people
it's not
get.
funny.
Yeah, no, but it's a joke. That's what it is. I think the expenses that people get, and that they take down and put through, it's a joke. To be a politician, you should pay for your own alcohol. To be any
Yeah,
kind of worker, you should pay for your own alcohol and
mhm.
not get it reimbursed. The
No,
only things you should get reimbursed if you're working with the government or anything like that is
yeah,
food. If you're on holiday, maybe toiletries, depending,
yeah, basics.
travel, so just the basics. But the people, they take the piss. I think if I had the knowledge, I think if I was more motivated to build my knowledge up, I think I would go in there and I would smash it. But it's not for
You
me.
would, definitely. I'd love to see
But
that as
they just
well.
frustrate me.
That's what
But
we need.
yeah, I mean, we need wrong uns in the life to make the world go round. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have so much care in our heart to help the young people. Um,
Yeah.
but it is what it is, unfortunately.
Mm. Now
So
we've
yeah,
got quite a lot of there's a lot of laws that are going to be coming in, hopefully in the next year, within the next year.
yeah, okay,
Um, there's one, it's an online harms bill,
Yeah.
And literally the government are looking to make all like social media, online platforms, all accountable and to hit them in their pocket.
Wow.
And it's going to be run by Ofsted, which I think is quite a good thing. So, you know,
Yes,
like normally
yes,
if you try and do any complaints to Instagram or anywhere, it just gets
yeah,
lost. There's no one there.
yeah,
But yeah, so I thought that was quite promising. And it's
yeah.
going to deal with racism
Yep.
and children's safety. There's
That's really good.
145 pages, which I am going to print out and I'm going to have a look at just to see if there's anything, you know, like that will help
Mhm.
to get certain things sorted, you know,
Yeah,
like in relation to the children.
yeah.
Because
A hundred
what my
percent.
daughter found, because she looked
Yeah.
into Snapchat and just the online social media. And you know, there is nothing at all in place for violence, protecting kids from violence at all. All it says is it's down to the parents.
There we go. But this is what I was gonna say to you before, but I didn't want to cut you. We're not looking at what is actually going on at home. Why? Not all of the time. You've got a bad lifestyle at home, but some of these young people, they're going through things at home, and it's silence. A social worker could go there a whole week, and they still don't know what's going on. I mean, social services need to step up. Like when I was younger, things were going on in my house that no one would know. A social service was around. There was drug dealers in my house, practically living in my house, 3 floors. Yet social services didn't do nothing about it. I think if we take a look at what's going on at home and
Yeah.
properly take a look and take the child away, if you've got the right authority and the right grounds, take the child away to have a conversation to find out what is going on. Don't manipulate that child. Talk to that child properly. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And we can find out because there's a cause and it starts from at home. It starts from where you rest your head. And half
Yeah.
of these young people out there, they're struggling because their mum, they probably don't have a job, or the mum's got such poor bad health that there's no money coming in. The mum's
Mm-hmm.
stressing, so they want to go
Yeah.
out, they want to get some money. The only way they can get money is get recruited by gang members or rob people or sell drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where it all starts. Do you see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And no one ain't looking at where it could be starting from. Do you see
No.
what I'm
And
saying?
I'm
And the
reading.
majority of these young people
I've
is
heard as
from
well, and
home.
I never thought about this before. That kids are being groomed in school.
Oh, yes, yes,
From
right, yes,
school. Like I
yes,
never thought. Like
yes,
yeah,
yes. It's
which
happening.
that
It's
in itself.
happening. But you know what? It's young girls. It's happening the most. You'll be surprised. Young girls.
Oh, we've got
Young boys.
Loxy, we've got someone on here, Hustler Abs, who's
Yeah.
saying no, he's saying something about I don't know what we've said, but no, that's
I
all
can't see it.
incorrect. Uh doesn't mean these kids go out with weapons. Should we get him on? Hustler Abs, do you want
You
to come
can get
on?
him on. I didn't see the comment. I can't
Yeah,
see
I
it.
didn't know. I don't know what he's talking about. But do you want to come on, Hustler Abs?
Well, yeah,
We
each to
can
their
hear what you got.
own. Everyone does have different opinions, and I can't fault that.
No, and when we've had a lot of people on over the like since we started this, and it's been about I reckon about 10 weeks we've been doing it.
Yeah,
Right, yeah,
yeah.
he's saying he'll come on. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right, let's
What
see.
don't you agree with?
Yeah. Right. Shout out to
Sorry, man.
Caramel Jones as well.
Oh, my cousin from
Yeah,
Liverpool.
what's up,
Oh,
guys?
hey,
Hi,
Yeah, you
Hustler
you
right, yeah?
Abs.
okay?
Yeah, what's
How you
up? Yeah,
doing,
I'm
man?
good. I'm good. You know how it is. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. I wasn't trying to be rude or anything like that. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, that's fine.
I was
Yeah.
just trying to
All
say
right.
like, raw, like obviously, in my opinion, like I don't obviously I'm a Sikh in it, and we carry certain type of weapons as well, but it's not to
Oh
hurt anyone.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. But obviously, what I was gonna say is all these kids, it does happen. Obviously, all of this stuff happens in the house, innit? Whatever goes on in the house, nobody knows outside. So these kids go out there looking for stuff in it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, that doesn't give them the right now to say, oh, I should go and take a knife from me and put it on me. And now if
No.
someone comes up to me now, I should just stab them. That's just a bit. It's a bit wrong. Of course, all of this stuff happens at home and all that kind of stuff, innit? But it doesn't add up, kind of thing. Why the rest of the crowd, because the rest of the crowd going out carrying weapons and all that kind of
I
stuff.
agree. Yeah, no.
And then
Yeah, go on.
well, go on. What are you saying, Craig? Obviously, most of the stuff
Yeah.
comes off drill music as well. They kind of listen to drill now, so they're thinking, oh, that's the kind of lifestyle I want to live. I want to be a cool guy. I want to go and have a name out there. And now they think, now because of the music, the kind of music they listen to, it influences them. They start thinking, oh, this is so cool. Because what drill music is about, it's a movie. It's a way to show what a lifestyle they're living. You get me? And now these younger kids are thinking, oh yeah, it's a cool lifestyle. I want to live it. So now they go and they start doing the same thing, rapping and all that stuff. And then they carry knives and all sorts of machetes and stuff. And then it's a war out here now. Now they're going around stabbing each other, killing each other. For what? Drugs? Girls? Money? That's just nuts, man. They need to...
And the knives as well. The knives that they're accessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a site which kept cropping up called Anglo
Arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
They actually sell off all that.
Yeah. They need to be closed down.
They need to... I've gone on this website. I've gone on the kind of weapons the zombie knives, Rambos,
and the packs, the multi-packs.
What website is this?
Yeah.
It's called, and the other thing I found out, right? So they're called Anglo Arms, and I think they're Luton, right? But what I discovered, so many shops stocked their stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was hundreds of stores that had their knives,
and
they're named after films. Like the expendable pack, like 4 different size machetes, but with the different, it's like the horrific, they're like for bear killing, they're for hunting.
Hunting, not for... And these
kids are... And how is this allowed?
Well, if they're not banned.
Authorization. Yeah, how is
there's no ID, right? We've got an organisation that come on quite a lot called Peace and Love Movement. They're trying to get into Parliament to talk to the government, right? That's going to take a couple of years because they're doing a petition. Yeah. I've been trying to find out ways. We need emergency shit happening now. You know what I mean? That they put through it in law in a few days. But I think the only way that will happen is if everybody came together and demanded it.
Yeah.
But
it's a joke.
I can't believe that.
When you see that site, you're going to be horrified. I was horrified. 30 quid I could buy one for.
So
no,
is that
for £15? No, you can buy one for £15.
Who the owner is?
12 inches. No.
No, I don't know who owns it.
Who made up the website? Because someone had to make up the website.
Yeah.
How did they get the authority? How did they get the authorization to even get that put on the internet?
And exactly. And then this is the thing we've talked about before. How are they?
Guys, I'm going to join you shortly. I need to quickly charge my phone, so I'm going to join you guys shortly.
All right.
Peace out, you guys. Take care.
All right. Yeah, it's the actual knives they've got. Like there was one, and it's split in 2. It was like a machete, but it's split in 2. And one had a funny kind of blade, and then the other one. So one side's normal, and the other side is like all edged off. And somebody said it's for when they put it in, and then they pull out intestines.
See, this is what I'm saying. The people that are killing, you're not stabbing people to injure them. You're stabbing them to kill them. You're stabbing them.
And the point scoring thing as well. Have you seen all those videos?
Do you know what? Recently, it's so cloud. It clouds my mind. It honestly does. It breaks my heart. I haven't really seen none of it recently. I follow a page on Facebook. Stop killing our young kids. Or something like that.
Stop killing our kids on the street. Yeah.
I follow that page, and what I've been seeing on that page is horrifying. It's not nice. I think it's sad.
My battery's going. All right,
my phone is ringing.
Battery.
What was I saying? Oh gosh. I don't get. I just don't get how all these things are allowed to get put up and sent. Now how when you send things through delivery, parcels and anything, ain't they meant to get checked? Now,
Exactly.
what are these monstrous looking weapons getting sent? Are they not being checked? People
Yeah,
are not doing
they
their
can't
job for
be.
that.
Yeah, they can't be. There's no way. There was one guy who was on, I think he did a video on Facebook. He definitely did it on
Yeah.
Instagram. He received a delivery, right? When he opened it up, it was full of knives from Anglo Arms. But what it was, somebody knocked on his door and said a little while later and said, "Oh, a delivery's gone to your house. It's mine." So he made out he didn't get
No.
it. He made out he didn't get it, and then he just went straight online and he was like, "Look at this." There was loads of knives in there, and you don't need any ID. They just, yeah. And the thing about these knives is that they are to kill. They're like, actually, you've got no chance. This is why they're bleeding to death in a few minutes.
And
So I just don't know what.
do you know what? eBay as well. You can get
Yeah,
air rifles and sorry, you can get air rifles and everything off of eBay.
mm.
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Yes,
Sorry.
right, darling.
Tasia? There you go. You're fine.
Shout out to everybody who locked on, who's been locked on. Make sure to follow us at Let the Youth Live.
Yeah, eBay. If you go onto eBay and type in like air rifles or anything like that, you got it all on eBay. You can get it sent to you within a couple of days. Get dispatched. I think Amazon's the only one right now that doesn't. And I think it is a shame because even when because you have to confirm with a bank card your
Yeah.
age when you purchase it, right? And even with them, it says when it's delivered to you, the parcel, whoever delivers it to you, will then ask you for your ID. No one asks you for your ID.
No, I've heard that before, and they don't. Yeah,
it's not
just,
like nothing. They don't ask. Will say to you is what's your date of birth? You can make up any date of birth on the spot.
yeah, exactly.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That is literally it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
I think it's appalling.
do we think people are carrying these monster knives because they're scared? A lot of people,
It's a mixture. I think it's a mixture, but it's for me, it's upsetting. I mean, I've lived that life. It's the fortunate thing about me is I was around people who protected me. Do you see what I'm saying? So I've never got caught up in that.
luckily.
I think there's only one time where I nearly got stabbed in the leg, and that was when I was on the run. I got myself caught up in a little thing with a girl. That was about it. But the people, the people, I don't get it. I think people are scared. Some people are scared, but the people that are scared, they're not really about it. They ain't experienced to that extent, and that's why they're following, because it's their surroundings, and that's what I mean. That's the real victim to society on a different level. On another level, you've got the victims of society that are already in that life, and they're doing it because they want to. They've got no heart, and they're cold, and they're evil. They've got no guidance, and they're lost.
Yeah.
They're actually genuinely lost. From the moment you're lost and you don't want to find yourself, that's it. That's it. When you, I think I walked with a knife one time and it backfired on me instantly. It's like karma come and bit my ass straight away. I just started a new school out of school for a year and a half. Some girl who was in a few years above me gave me a knife. She said, quickly hide it, put it in your boot. And then we had trouble with another school. And I somehow ended up getting caught up in it, and I was new. So then this girl started fighting me on the bottom of the bus. I pulled out the knife of my boot. And then she pressed the button on the bus and pushed me off as the bus is moving. So I tumbled off the moving bus in the 5 ways of traffic. And then out of nowhere, I got up, started chasing her with a knife, and next minute I woke up in hospital. That was it. So you could easily get led, and then something could happen. I literally just got given that knife, and then something happened which caused me to take it out to protect myself. So There's so many different ways you can go around, but there is a route, and you need to get to that route first before you deal with everything else after that. It's not an excuse to say, well, I'm protecting myself. I understand that, and I understand that because I've lived that life. That's what
Yeah,
I can say to a young person.
yeah,
I understand that. I understand that because I've lived that life, and I've been around all of, well, all the man them, as we say now. I've been around them, and I've watched them do their things. I've watched them stab people. I've watched things happen. I've seen how it happens. I know how it starts and how it finishes. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think there should really be an excuse. There should be a thing where, where's the adults? And even when they're outside, you should know with their phones. 12, 13-year-olds, your phone should be taken at 10 o'clock at night. The
yeah,
parents should be going through the phone. I
yeah.
mean, everyone's
It's a case
different.
of having
Everyone's
to,
head is
isn't it?
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have to now. We know what
Mhm,
we're living in. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I mean, my mentality is probably a lot more strict because of what I've been through and because of what I know what's going on, because of what I've seen. But I think certain, if you feel that you need to protect your, oh sorry, if you need to protect your kids like that, to be more disciplined and to be more
mhm.
to be a bit more stricter on them, to protect them, then so be
Yep,
it. Check their phones, take their phones away from them, check them before they leave the house. If
yep.
you
You
feel
have
something
to.
in
Yeah.
you that's not right, you do all of that before they leave your house.
Hmm.
um
That's
winter
sensible what
when
you're
winter
saying.
comes, you're not leaving my house. You're
Yep.
not coming in my house after 7 o'clock. It gets dark at 5 to 6. Yeah,
Hmm.
you should be in my house by 7 o'clock if you're 13 years old.
Well, they
Yeah, and
say
even
they
then, seven
say
o'clock's too late.
yeah, between 3:30 and 5:30, they call them the murder hours.
There we go. But there we
Right? You've
go. And
got
that, yeah,
yeah, and that's horrifying in itself as well. We've got in Woolwich, the young boy that passed on the high street there, his school, I think it's called Academy,
yeah.
they've been sending out warnings to all the kids telling them go straight home. Go straight home. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't go to the high street.
You see what I'm
Now,
saying?
do
It's
you think
really, yeah.
we should all be saying that
No,
until they sort something out? Like,
do you know, yeah, it's true. But then again, you got, and this is where not every parent's gonna check their phones. I mean, I could sit here and say everything, but sometimes I find myself contradicting myself, and I think it's with a lot of people,
oh, being a
and
parent.
it actually pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie, but it is with the phone. People are planning and arranging on Snapchat and all
Mhm.
of these things and
Snapchat is
Instagram
definitely
and
one of the
WhatsApp.
worst. Hmm.
Because you can send a message and it deletes straight away. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, if these platforms were to be monitored by the people who founded them, they're not doing a good. They're not doing a good enough job
No,
either.
definitely not.
Because the same way they can block us from talking about conspiracy or whatever we want to talk about, yeah, on
Yep.
Instagram and that, if they can block them and they could monitor them through their IP addresses. If they really wanted to cut down, they could, but they don't.
But they're not. No. It's
And
going to
it's
take,
sad. It's
yeah,
honestly sad.
it's going to take law to make that happen.
Yeah,
So I'm just glad when I looked into it, I heard about this online harms bill and I thought, right, I'll just look that up. They have
yeah.
been trying to get that through for the last 2 years. So that's why I think it's promising because they're actually at the white paper stage of it. So I don't know how long
Wow.
that takes, that bit, but they're doing the legislation for it. So that's quite promising. We've got something, in law that's coming through. The other thing is what's it called? Is it the public health approach where they
I
try
haven't
and it's a
heard of
10-year plan and they try and get all the agencies to work together and everybody,
Yeah.
literally they haven't even started it yet. And what it means is in like you start that and in 10 years things will be better, but they haven't
Wow.
started
That's
it yet.
amazing.
So,
Where's it gonna go? What's gonna happen?
mhm,
Is it just gonna get wiped away? Are they gonna make
mhm,
something else of it? But like as I said before, everything is a process, but it's a painful process. And I think that's where people in the community have to step up in that process because we can't just get something done straight away. We've got to protect people. We've got to guide people. It's discipline as well. It's everything.
yeah,
And you need the right people for that. Not just one person has the knowledge to everything. That's why you need a lot of other people to help you with that. And that's how you build up your community and you build up your helpers to help young people, whether it's going to schools every day, 3 times a day. Because even what about lunchtime? That at lunchtime, people are allowed out of school.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got an opportunity to go pick up something that you've hidden, like, and all of those kind of things. What
Yeah.
about when, I think when I was about, this must have been about like when I was about, I went to South Thames College, and for like a whole month they were doing, you weren't allowed to come in the college. You had to come through the metal machine. You had to come
Oh,
through the metal
yeah.
machine at the
Yeah.
colleges. So why don't you start doing that at schools? If you really care, if the government really, really care and they really want to crack down, you would be doing all of that. You would be putting all of
We've
these
got,
in
I think
place.
there's one school, but it's only one
Yeah,
school that's doing
but
it
one
here.
school.
Yeah, so I don't know why it's only the one school and why they haven't expanded that, but that's always been something, you know, even if it's people visiting the school, you know what I mean? Because I've heard of people rushing schools and running in or jumping over the walls to get to certain kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely schools. And then
I
it's like,
think.
I'm wondering, do you think our children need to be wearing stab-proof school uniform?
It shouldn't even have to come down to it. I mean,
I know.
talking about it, it's like it's crazy because talking about it, I'm saying one thing, but in the same breath, I'm thinking, oh my God, but that could happen. Like the mind of the young people these days, they're so
Yeah,
advanced, they're so
yeah,
forward. It's like we as adults, we're a step behind them, or maybe 5 steps behind them
yeah.
because
Because
they
they are
always know
proper
what they're.
clued
It's
up,
all
mate. Like,
premeditated. They know what they're doing, and they
yeah,
know what they want to do. They know what they want to gain from it. And it's sad because people are letting it happen. You also got a lot of older people that are bringing the younger people in and making them do things. It's a vicious
there's a lot of
cycle.
that.
And it literally takes a whole community to even change one person's life. And if one person's life can get changed from a community, I think that's an amazing start. It really
Yeah,
is.
exactly. Yep. I'm just going to take a few messages. Khalid
Okay.
says, how are you? We're good, thank you.
Good, thank
Super
you.
DMC. He's clapping there. He says, loving your energy. Oh, big
Thank you
up
very
to
much.
you, Super D. HG Mindset saying hi. Do you want to hear a song? And he says, Lox follows me. Add me. I can sing Bob Marley for you all.
Well, unless it's inspirational and it's about
Uh,
solving knife crime.
yeah. Well,
Um,
we're running a end knife crime challenge.
yeah, really.
So yeah, so we've got the beat. We've had 2 entries so far, and bless them, they don't even normally rap to. It's actually a grime beat, which I didn't realise it was grime. I wasn't sure what it was. So one of them is a dancehall artist, and one's a hip hop, and they both jumped
Wow,
on the grime, and they've done
really.
brilliant. So we're running that for like a month to try and get people to, speak out in their rap just
Yeah,
about, why they want knife crime to end. We want
yeah,
more people speaking out because in the music, I'm lucky because I've got quite a lot of featured artists who do speak out, that are
yeah,
conscious, who, have got powerful messages. But in
yeah.
general, the music that's out there, it's just bullshit. It's just, yeah,
I'm so
it's,
old school. I'm stuck in my old school way. I think there's a couple of songs that I probably listened to that you would say I probably heard. But me, I'm so old school. I love my old school music. I'm not into all of this drill. I think it's boring. I think the rawness of it is boring because you're inciting this stupid behavior. The
yeah,
other side of it is it's like an expression of poetry. That's how I look at other people's because I will listen to it and I will
mm-hmm,
feel it. If I feel it, you're not really inciting too much, but people could get the wrong um, expressions from it.
yeah,
But for me, yeah, I don't know. With your challenge, I could put it out. You could send me, DM me the information. I could put it out and see if anyone would want to do it.
Brilliant.
I
That'd be
could
brilliant.
even forward a poem on it to get more people to try and do it. And hopefully, yeah, that would raise some more awareness as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Yes, because that's what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Through the music. Yeah, I've got some brilliant artists on board. Oh, yeah, I'll have to. I don't know if you know. Do you know Two Badder? Have you heard of Two Badder?
I don't think so. I'd have to
Yeah.
look now.
Yes. I'll send you some links, all right? And when you
Yeah,
can, try and lock into the show, and then you can
yeah,
hear some of the sick artists that I got.
yeah. I would do.
So they
I would.
certainly do me proud, you know. With, like I said, the things they talk about
Yeah.
and speak out about. But I've been trying for years to try and get some of the big artists on board, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because maybe they're signed and they can't say certain things.
Yeah.
But I watched a documentary the other night, and it
Yeah.
was all about it was about rappers in the UK and beef that's gone onto the streets. Now, I knew that a lot of their beefs were, you know, rolling back down into the street. Apparently, I saw from 2018 to now, one of the rappers they talked about was Heady One. And I think it was the incident where he got chased around in a uni or something, and they
Oh, I've never
they
heard of
said he
that.
got, he took a loss, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he made a statement saying, I turn all my L's into W's.
So W's,
And the
yeah.
following day, somebody's been shot in the head from the opposing gang.
Oh, wow.
And literally it's just been a bloodbath apparently, and that's just one of the rappers. Now all the, you know, we see all this shit, you know, like they're fighting and trying to stab each other in Selfridges, and you know,
What? Yeah.
but the consequences are going down into our communities of all of
No, but
this.
this is what I'm saying, and people look so highly up to these rappers. I mean, I could sit here, as I said, I contradict myself again because half of these rappers I probably do listen to on occasion. But what people fail to realize is that these rappers actually they've come from the streets. They're road people. They've not just come out of nowhere. They've got
Yeah.
they've got the right links and connections to bring them into this industry. But they're just like people from the road. They are like they're people from gangs. Hence why you got who is it? It was Heady One and was it Tion Wayne or something like that on the aeroplane getting
Yeah, I
into
think
beef.
it is still,
Um,
yeah.
so
They've got, what's
you've
his name,
still got all of
Fredo
this
as
war
well.
going on. You've still got all of this war going on, and there's people like Dave. I mean, what he's doing in the industry is really good. He's been about that life. He's been on the streets. His brother's in prison for murder. But he's making something different of it. Do you see what I'm saying? There's people like them, and there's people like Dave who's actually, you're making a foundation of life. Stormzy, you're creating a foundation of it. Stormzy, the thing is, my sister used to run around Norbury nicking Mercedes signs off
Oh
the cars
yeah,
with
I think I
Stormzy.
used to do.
You see what I'm saying? And like everyone's had their own little, but it's how you come out of it. It's the come up.
Yeah.
Now, if you're gonna come up from it and stay in that same way, it's all good talking about it. Yeah, talking about it. I shot someone. I got shot. All right, cool, because you can raise awareness. But then in the end of it, show them how you got out. Show them that you got out. Show them that you're capable of
How you
being
did it.
bigger and better instead of being bigger and better, because you're not bigger and better than no one. And I'm sure everyone in their life has had to learn that the hard way. Everyone. So it is literally, if you got like it's all good being out there and inciting all of this rubbish, but if you can turn it a negative into a positive and bring some awareness and build up a foundation for the young people, just for people in general, then yeah, we support you. But all this inciting us to killing and murdering and stabbing and recruiting, I think it's a joke. It's scary, and especially being a parent. I always wanted a boy. I'm glad I didn't have a boy, but it's still scary having a child anyway. With what's going
I've
on.
got girls, but it is still scary. It's still soon as they start school.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as they want to start going out on their own, because it's not them that really that you don't trust. It's just, what if they're in that situation when it's
Now,
kicking
what's
off?
happening in schools right now is young girls are getting forced to send pictures of themselves. That's what's happening
I've
right
read
now.
about that. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
they're getting forced, and now people will disagree, and say, "Well, you can't force someone to do that." Well, yes, you can. You can bully them so much so they do that. Do you see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and social
So
media
much,
is
yeah.
helping with all that. Yeah,
You're
'cause-
posting it, people are posting things and they're spreading it around. And yeah, it's everything in all is, it makes me sick. Unless I'm going to work,
it
I'm
is.
doing shopping, or I'm getting my daughter from school, I'm in my house.
Yeah.
It's horrible, and we shouldn't have to live like it. We
A lot
shouldn't.
of people who came on the lives since we started this, they literally, everybody said they noticed that things changed as soon as we got social media.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
noticed instantly that things just changed and were kind of out of our hands. And it's like, even judges, yeah, looking at cases to do with the internet, even they are saying it's out of hand. The law is not able to even deal with it. So this is why I'm kind of praying that this new
the
legislation, this
law.
online
Yeah,
pass thing, they've obviously thought about it, and luckily they thought about it a few years ago, because I
so there's
do
enough
believe a
time
lot
to
of
still
people
put
say,
in
"Oh,
place.
there's nothing you can do," like it's too big. But there
There's
must be.
always something you can do. I mean, it's just taking it off chance. It's just hoping. You just got to be hopeful. Speaking it into existence as much as you can, as long as it takes. Just got to be positive. I think the more you're positive about something is the more you can push yourself and motivate yourself to work towards it,
Definitely.
to make it be achievable. And
Hmm.
you just need the right people with the right mindsets around you. I mean, anyone with a negative mindset, or who don't agree with the work that you're doing, you don't need around you. You don't even need that energy.
Yeah,
You don't
definitely.
need to feed off
Yeah,
that
stick
energy,
this to
because
the
that's what
curb,
will
man.
hold you back. There we go.
Yeah,
Literally, like,
because there is so much like negativity. Like, I know it's a bad situation, but it's going to take people positively coming together to do
there
stuff.
we go. There we
And
go.
I definitely
100%.
believe we can make a difference. Like, there's no doubt about that. But it's
Yeah.
going to be the right people. But the right people are coming.
Yeah, no,
I've
and that's
been
what's
saying
really
that.
good after
Hmm.
all this time, and it's just being hopeful at this point now.
Hmm.
And in the process of being hopeful, you've got a longer time to have more ideas and to think about things and to write
Yeah,
things
it's
down,
so true.
to
Yeah,
plan things. It's beneficial in the long run. Um, so yeah.
definitely. I'm just seeing there, SG Mindset. He's saying, send me the live if you want me to sing, because he's getting other requests.
I just see a
Ah,
notification come up saying that he went live with someone. No,
ah,
no.
ah, ah. Shout out to Super D as well. That was some lovely comments. Probably going to finish up the live, I think, for
Yeah,
today. All right.
definitely. Yeah,
But we'll be back next week. And I'm hoping to do more. I want to do more than once a week, because I
yeah,
feel like there's a lot, you know what I mean? It's more than a once a week thing, especially because it's the 6 weeks holiday.
yeah.
So if you think of anything, you know what I mean? Anything,
100%.
yeah, just let me know. And it'd be great to get you on another week as well. But thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a
Thank
real
you for
pleasure.
having me.
And I can't
Yeah.
wait to see more of your poetry, man.
I know. But more to be coming, and send me the knife challenge information,
Yes,
and I'll get
yes.
it out for
Send you
you.
all of that over.
All right then.
And what's your social media's on here, isn't it? Just for everybody
Yeah,
to check.
Loxxy survived. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been lovely to actually see you face to face today.
I know. It's great. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the today.
It's been a blessing. Thank you so much. We've got
Thank you.
Rebel
God bless
Bingy
you.
saying love this. I'll read
God
Lens
bless you,
as
Rebel
well.
Bingy.
Says, love your movement, such a great cause. Thank you so
God
much.
bless you all. God bless
Please
you all.
follow us up. Please join us. We're on every week. We'd love you to be on board, everybody. We want your ideas. We want your, you know what I mean? We want you involved. This is something we need to do together, all of us.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell a
Yes.
family member to tell a family member. Tell everyone.
Yes. Exactly. All right.
So,
But
yeah.
enough
Well, you
love.
have a
All
lovely
right.
evening.
More blessings
Take
to
care.
you. And big up everyone
Bye.
that's in as well. All right. See you. Bye.